The revolution will be soft, how trauma rewires your present, and why choosing yourself is the ultimate act of defiance. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred pause Black women have been waiting for. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Latyra Rudolph, and let me tell you, this conversation shifted something in me. Latyra's journey, her message about overcoming the obstacles she faced in life, is a powerful testament to resilience and transformation. What struck me most wasn't just what she survived, but how she chose to turn that survival into something sacred, something that could light the way for others. Latira's impact on making the world a better place isn't measured in accolades or awards, though she has those too. It's measured in the way she refuses to shrink, the way she gives others permission to do the same, and the way she embodies the truth that our stories, our real stories, are the blueprints for collective liberation. So today, I want to share what Latira taught me, what I've learned from others who've walked similar paths, and what it all means for those of us learning to be soft in a world that taught us survival. Here's the thing nobody tells you about trauma: it doesn't just live in your past, it rewires your present. It changes how you see yourself, how you move through the world, how you love, how you rest, or more accurately, how you don't rest. Trauma teaches you that safety is a luxury you can't afford, that softness is weakness, that if you stop moving, stop grinding, stop proving, you'll disappear. And for so many of us, especially high achieving Black women, that lesson gets reinforced every single day. We carry teams, we carry families, we carry entire communities on our backs. And somewhere along the way, we forget that we were never meant to carry it all alone. Latyra Rudolph knows this intimately. Her story is one of breaking cycles, of refusing to let the weight of what happened to her define what happens next. And in our conversation, she reminded me that resilience isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about facing them head on with creativity, with courage, and with a willingness to rewrite the script you were handed. Let me share a story that captures this beautifully. It's not Latira's story, but it echoes the same truth she embodies. There was a man named Mick Ebeling, an innovator, an entrepreneur, someone who believed that technology should serve humanity, not the other way around. He founded something called Not Impossible Labs, and their mission was simple but radical: create technology for the sake of humanity, not for profit, not for prestige, for people. Their very first project was born out of witnessing someone else's pain and refusing to look away. Tempt 1, a graffiti artist named Tony Kwan, was diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Slowly, his body shut down. He couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't create the art that had been his entire identity, his entire reason for waking up in the morning. All he had left were his eyes, just his eyes. And for 7 years, 7 long years, Tony Kwan was trapped inside a body that wouldn't respond, with a mind full of colors and lines and stories he couldn't get out. Most people would have said, "That's tragic. There's nothing we can do." Mick Ebling said, "Watch me." He gathered a team of programmers and hackers in his living room. Not a fancy lab, not a corporate boardroom, his living room. And together, they built something called the eye writer, a device that tracks eye movements so people with paralysis can draw on a screen, can communicate, can create again. After 7 years of silence, Tempt One made art again. Let that sink in for a moment. 7 years of silence, 7 years of being locked inside yourself. And then one day, because someone refused to accept that obstacles were the end of the story. You get to create again. You get to speak again. You get to be seen again. But here's where it gets even more beautiful. Mick didn't patent it, didn't lock it behind paywalls or corporate greed. He made it open source. He said, "You choose it, yeah. This belongs to everyone who needs it. This isn't mine to hoard. This is ours to share." The iWriter won Time Magazine's Best Inventions Award in 2010. Not Impossible Labs went on to launch project after project, helping people all over the world. And it all started because one person refused to accept that obstacles were the end of the story. One person looked at someone else's pain and said, "I see you. I'm not walking away. We're going to figure this out together." That's what Latyra Rudolph represents. That's what so many of us are learning in our soft girl era, that innovation springs from adversity, that the most groundbreaking solutions come from people who refuse to accept the status quo, especially when it comes to personal or systemic barriers. But let's be real for a second, because I know some of you are sitting there thinking that's inspiring and all, but I'm not building life changing technology. I'm just trying to get through the week without crying in my car. I see you. I hear you. And here's what I need you to know: your breakthrough doesn't have to look like a Time Magazine award. It doesn't have to be loud or public or even visible to anyone but you. Sometimes your breakthrough is saying no to one more thing you don't have the capacity for. Sometimes that it's choosing rest over productivity. Sometimes that it's letting yourself cry in the car and then driving home anyway. Knowing that feeling your feelings doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Latira reminded me that resilience is built through action, not the kind of action that burns you out, but the kind that honors where you are and what you need. Every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger and more resourceful. Yes, but also to grow softer and more honest. Because here's the truth we don't talk about enough: strength without softness is just survival, and survival without healing is just existing. So many of us have been taught that our value is tied to our output, that if we're not producing, achieving, and leading, fixing, we're not enough. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor. We say things like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead," and we mean it. We actually mean it. But what if the real revolution, the real act of defiance, is choosing to live fully now? What if softness isn't the opposite of strength, but the highest form of it? In my conversation with Latyra Rudolph, she talked about how overcoming obstacles isn't just about getting to the other side. It's about what you do with the wisdom you gain along the way. It's about turning your pain into purpose, your survival into something that can support others. And that's where the magic happens. When you share your journey authentically, you give others permission to hope, to dream, to act. Your breakthrough becomes a blueprint for someone else's success. Think about Tempt One again. He didn't just get his art back, his story inspired a global movement around assistive technology accessibility. Helping one person led to solutions that impacted thousands more. Thousands. That's the ripple effect of resilience. That's what happens when you refuse to let your obstacles have the final word. But let's talk about what it actually takes to get there, because I don't want to sugarcoat this. Overcoming trauma, breaking cycles, rewriting your story, it's not a one time decision, it's a daily practice. Some days, it's a moment by moment choice. It means releasing the cape, letting go of the roles, the masks, the responsibilities you've been carrying that were never yours to begin with. It means redefining strength on your own terms, not the terms handed to you by a world that benefits from your exhaustion. It means embracing softness, even when it feels vulnerable, even when it feels like giving up. Spoiler alert, it's not giving up, it's giving yourself permission to be human. It means healing in real time. tending to the wounds that still ache, and being honest about what's helping and what's not. It means protecting your peace as a practice, actively creating space for joy, for rest, for boundaries that don't require explanation or apology. And it means finding purpose beyond pain, not because your pain defines you, but because you refuse to let it limit you. Latyra Rudolph embodies all of this. Her impact on making the world a better place isn't just about what she's accomplished professionally. It's about the way she shows up, the way she refuses to shrink, the way she gives others permission to do the same. And that's what I want to leave you with today. Your story matters. Your obstacles, your resilience, your journey from survival to softness, it all matters. Not because it's perfect or polished or ready for a magazine cover, but because it's real. And real is what we need more of. So if you're in the thick of it right now, if you're still figuring out how to be soft in a world that taught you survival, I want you to know this. You don't have to have it. Yeah, I'm with all figured out. You don't have to be healed to start healing. You don't have to wait until you're ready to choose yourself. Start where you are. Start with one boundary, one moment of rest, one honest conversation with yourself about what you actually need, not what everyone else expects from you. Because here's the thing about cycles, they keep going until someone decides to stop them. And that someone can be you, not because you're superhuman, but because you're finally ready to stop pretending you have to be. Latyra Rudolph taught me that. Mick Ebeling in Tempt One taught me that. And every single person who's ever chosen healing over hustle, softness over survival, has taught me that. The cycle of trauma changed my mindset. It changed Latyra's mindset, and it can change yours too. Not by erasing what happened, but by refusing to let it write your future. So here's my challenge to you. Here's the call to action that I hope rattles something loose inside you and makes you uncomfortable in the best possible way. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you feel ready or healed or worthy enough. You are ready now. You are worthy now. And the world doesn't need another version of you that's burned out and running on fumes. The world needs the version of you that's rested, that's honest, that's soft and strong and unapologetically whole. I want you to identify one thing, just one thing that you've been carrying that was never yours to carry. Maybe it's a relationship that drains you. Maybe it's a job that's killing your spirit. Maybe it's the belief that you have to be everything to everyone or you're nothing at all. I want you to name it out loud right now. Name the thing you're ready to release. And then I want you to do something radical. I want you to let it go. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when it's convenient or when everyone else is comfortable with your decision. Now, today, this moment, because the revolution will be soft, it will be quiet, it will be deeply personal and profoundly powerful. It will happen in living rooms and therapy sessions and long drives home where you finally admit that you're tired, and that's okay. It will happen when you say no without guilt, when you rest without apology, when you choose yourself without explanation. This is your soft girl era. This is your sacred pause. This is the moment you stop surviving and start living. Not because you've arrived, not because the trauma is gone or the obstacles have disappeared, but because you've decided that your peace without your joy, your wholeness, is worth fighting for. So, welcome to the space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve. Without guilt, without apology, without explanation. You've earned this. You've survived enough. Now it's time to live.